and Scott Schwade's 81 are deep to receive for the Miami Dolphins. Hampton at the 1. And trips as he crosses the 20, gets it out to the 24-yard line where Jesse Penn makes the tackle on special teams. Here are the first half statistics in Miami with a nice lead in total yards and those 2 turnovers for Dallas. But what really stands out there, 8 yards passing for the Cowboys. 8.
Well, the running statistics right there, probably over half of that's by their quarterback.
Pelluer.
So Pelluer has made a decision to try not to make mistakes and run the football. He needs to, in this half, he needs to think about that secondary receiver and throwing the football.
Be interesting to see how long they might go with Steve Pelluer if they remain behind. Hampton. And Jeffcoat was held by Hardy, who got a takedown out of that one. Hardy just tackled him from behind.
This has been not a memorable game for Mr. Hardy tonight. Dropping footballs, holding calls. This has just not been one of his stellar performances. Watch number 84 on the screen.
Well, this running play has been good, but look at those arms go around Jeffcoat initially. Then he grabs his ankle, which is obviously illegal. And I think there's 2 or 3 referees that saw that. I saw a lot of flags flying on that play.
It was a heck of a tackle by Bruce Hardy. Yeah. He was on the wrong side of the ball.
Yeah, too bad he's playing offense. That's right. I just can't get over how many penalties the Dolphins have been charged in the last couple of weeks. Just got to be killing Shula. This is, as we said before, the least penalized team historically in the last 5 years in the NFL.
Not the last 2 weeks, though.
Right.
1st and 20 for Marino. Dumps this one off out to about the 21-yard line. Tony Nathan got the catch. Rohrer and Bates were in on the stop. Here's what the Dolphins did in the first half as far as their possessions. The first drive went for 7 plays and a touchdown. Then they had to punt the ball away after an 8-play drive that didn't consume very much. Reveiz hit a field goal to make it a 10-7 ball game. Then Marino was intercepted as they got the ball down in deep in Dallas territory, and the missed field goal ended the first half. 2nd and 11. Stradford is now in there, along with Davenport, number 30, and Stradford on the sweep. Got a couple of good blocks, cut it back. Great balance across the 30 to the 31.
Nice call, too, on 3rd and 7, huh? To go with the running play, cross him up a little bit, Raj?
Well, Dallas is bringing in those 7 defensive backs in the passing situation, so Miami is running against that passing defense, especially on 2nd down, doing a nice job at it. Of course, Stradford is having an excellent game. He's making the right cuts. He's bouncing off of a couple of tackles. He's doing a good job running the football.
Only guy the whole season who was at a 100-yard game for the Dolphins, Troy Stradford.
Pelluer, you see, is the leading rusher for the Dallas Cowboys with 78 yards. 3rd and 3. Marino goes to the shotgun. Jensen, number 11, is in there. They love to go to him. Stays in the block this time, and he floats it sideline incomplete. Intended for Pruitt, and back there right in front of him, Ron Francis with excellent coverage. So Dallas will have to punt it away, and Roby comes on. In any uniform, Reggie Roby has the most distinctive punting style, maybe in the history of the NFL. First time Miami has only run 3 plays and had to punt. Kelvin Martin's deep to receive.
Great punt.
Oh, he just kicks it so high. And Martin did the smart thing. He got out of the way of a moving truck. A 49-yard punt, no return. ESPN's presentation. ESPN, the Travelers Corporation, will present the Travelers NFL Man of the Year Award to the player whose on-field performance is complemented by significant community involvement. This year's nominee from the Dolphins, Glenn Blackwood, the safety, and from the Dallas Cowboys, defensive end Jim Jeffcoat. Cowboys come out with Pelluer at the helm, 1st and 10, their own 21. Down by 3. Walker. just so quick, cuts it outside. Brown and Langford drove him out of bounds. Here's what the Cowboys were able to do when they had the football in the first half. And like the Dolphins, their first drive resulted in a touchdown. They took a 7-0 lead on Pelluer's touchdown pass. Then Pelluer was intercepted after a pretty good-looking 12-play drive, then 3 plays and punt, then 6 and another punt, and then the interception near the end of the first half. We will probably not see Tony Dorsett tonight. He carried just one time a week ago and has a bruised shoulder. They'd like not to use him if they can help it. Walker, gang tackle as he got to the 29-yard line. Dolphins have done a pretty good job on it.
You mentioned Tony Dorsett a few moments ago. People say, well, you know, Tony's had a great career. He's still got plenty left, but, you know, he has nothing to prove. Why doesn't he retire? Fact is, he stands to lose about $2 million in annuities if he retires. Now, if the Cowboys trade him or waive him, they have to pay him that money. That's the story behind why Tony Dorsett just doesn't hang it up. That, and also the fact, Roger, he's still got some playing left.
Well, I think you're right, Roy. I don't think you just bring it in dollars and cents with a competitor like Tony Dorsett. He's competed since high school and college, and he's got some records ahead that he wants to break. And he feels definitely he can move in at least behind Walter Payton, and he does have a couple of years of football left. So it's not just dollars and cents. That's a real competitor over there, number 33.
The injured player is Nate Newton, number 61. He's the left guard, and you can see it on the right side of your screen.
Well, Newton was hurt earlier in the year also, and they've gone back to that knee, and looks like he got hit right in the kneecap and
had that left knee planted, and he got it. We'll be back in a moment and check. 12:26 to go, third quarter. Miami by 3 over Dallas. The injured Cowboy player Nate Newton, number 61, has a bruised thigh. He may return later tonight. He is the best athlete on that offensive line. He was the star of training camp. And there is Newton, number 61. This is a 3rd and 2. Pelluer wants to throw. Dumps it off. Newsome. First down and more. Blackwood lowered a shoulder and knocked him down, but it's a first down Cowboys.
And we got a flag, too. May have been a late hit, perhaps.
Gain of 10, which gives Pelluer 18 yards passing in this ballgame.
That's going to be a gain of more than 10. They're going to tack that on.
Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness. Number 43. First down.
It's called on Bud Brown. Called for spearing, and that'll be 15.
Well, they had 3rd and 2. They went for the pass, and 59 that time went inside Brzezinski, and of course they went outside, and there's Bud Brown spearing. So that's really a 25-yard gain.
Jeff Zimmerman, number 76, the 3rd-round draft choice out of Florida, 316 pounds, is in there at left guard for Newton. Walker looked like the ball hit the ground, but it's loose, and it's recovered by Langford. Now Langford fumbles the ball, knocked out of bounds. It'll be Miami football as it was touched but not recovered out of bounds. Now that looked like Walker hit the ground before it came loose.
We'll see a replay on that one. Well, I guess that's what the judgment's going to be, but the referees are signaling first down for Miami.
All right, here it is again. Inside power running, Bud. Herschel takes the hit.
Bud Brown and bam,
it's loose.
Brzezinski, it's
he hadn't hit the ground.
Good call.
That's a fumble. There's another fumble right there, but it's knocked out of bounds without possession, so it's still Miami's football.
No question about it. He fumbles it before he hits the ground here. Well, it's kind of obstructed there. Brzezinski on the stop.
Yeah. Brzezinski caused the fumble, and of course it was picked up by Langford, but there's no possession right there. Edwards had a chance to get possession, but he didn't do it.
Be able to see it from this angle perfectly.
Boom, right there, and it's out before the they hit the ground.
They are reviewing it with the replay official Norm Schachter and the communicator Jan Van Duzer upstairs. But the replay looks pretty conclusive on that. And there's the replay booth. They're taking a look at a couple of different angles.
I don't even think there's a doubt. I don't even know why they're looking at it myself.
Well, I think if they had the same angle that we did on the original play, it looked like he was down. That's the beauty of the replay.
You know, life's amazing. You can look at the same screen and watch.
Isn't that right?
Watch it, everybody. I don't think there's a question that wasn't a fumble either. So there might be a.
After further review, the play stands. First down.
This is the angle that shows it right here, and it comes free. That left knee would have been the only thing obstructed, and it didn't seem to hit the ground, so it's a fumble.
And the replay officials say the call should stand, and it's a break for Miami. The Dolphins have the ball at the 36. A lot of scoring early, but right now they're stuck on that 10-7. Marino has thrown for only 139 yards in this game, and that is not much for Dan Marino, the master of the 300-yard plus contest. Stradford. Excellent move by Stradford. Dodges one tackle. Brought down by Downs and Rohrer.
I am really impressed with Troy Stradford. This is a 4th-round draft pick, and he has really come on like gang. He had a fumble last week, a bad one, too.
Well, this is no gain right here until he jukes Francis. He makes that move right here. There's Francis, and he ducks his head, makes an inside move, and gets 5 yards.
He's only 5'9", 191 pounds on that small frame, and he's a real slasher. 2nd and 4 now for Miami. Stradford again. Oh, what a move.
What a move.
And there's another one, and he dives for the first down yardage at the 46-yard line. If Miami with Stradford has a semblance of a running game, they're going to scare everybody to death every Sunday.
Yeah, well, Bates was like a matador in this play. He was getting ready to tackle him, and now you see him, now you don't. Right here, he makes this move on Bates, and Bates just misses him completely. And, of course, he spins right here. Walls at least knocks him down.
Going to go for the measurement. You know, when you talk about the offensive running game for the Dolphins, and they've got it, it shows you how important the running game is, setting it up for the pass. They have not had a 1,000-yard rusher in 8 years, and they're not going to have one this year, it doesn't look like. 9 years they haven't had a 1,000-yard rusher.
You got two masters going at each other right here, and I know Shula's saying, well, Landry's looking at the fact we don't run on first down. We don't run very much. So tonight their game plan is to run a lot more, obviously. And with success, you continue to run more.
Stradford, the lone back. 4-man rush, a lot of time for Marino to Stradford. Look out.
Directing traffic.
Oh! 20-yard line, brought down from behind by Jeff Rohrer. It's a gain of 31 yards, and Miami's intent is obvious. You get it to Stradford whenever you can.
Again, it's a first down play right here, and Marino's being patient. He's going short. Dallas has been doing a good job earlier, but Stradford has got the moves. Look at on Downs right here. He makes a move, and everybody at Boston College knows what he can do. Now the nation knows that there's a great running back as well as receiver in Miami.
Dolphins on the march, 1st and 10. Dallas 20. Davenport in as the lone remaining running back. Hampton goes to a wing. Marino to Davenport. And he'll try to work on him. Lost the ball, but it goes out of bounds. Michael Downs, the man over there driving him out, along with Gene, the hitting machine Lockhart.
Surprised to see Ron Davenport on the field. This guy has been in Shula's roomy doghouse almost all season long, but they're giving him another shot tonight to hopefully make a better performance out of it. He's had a lot of fumble problems. Couldn't get into the end zone last year. He's coming out of the game now, but a pretty good effort there.
You know, Miami's really doing a good job mixing up. You're seeing a team that really is mixing up the pass and first down and the run. And inside that 20, I think it's good to throw on first down as they did. Now it's 2nd and 5.
Been a beautifully called game by the Dolphins. Comes the blitz. Marino with time. Duper very close to the first down yard at just outside the 10. Michael Downs on the stop. Haven't heard much about Clayton and Duper tonight. They've done a good job there, but Stradford has really hurt him.
People talk the difference between Clayton and Duper. Clayton is the leaper. Duper is the speedster. In fact, Duper never played high school football, which is kind of an interesting stat, I suppose. Clayton, the better athlete than Duper at 5'9". Clayton has something like a 36-inch vertical leap, but Duper is the burner. He's the guy that before long they're going to go to.
Marino's been perfect on this drive. 3 out of 3 for 43 yards.
Back to Clayton. Clayton is one Mark's brother, if you will, Mark Clayton, Mark Duper, who will never be mistaken for Harpo. By that I mean he is the big talker. loves to talk all day long.
Brooks was injured in that play. He just went off. But the rules that were changed in '79 really make it very nice for these small, quick receivers downfield because they can't be hit past 5 yards.
Noonan in the Dallas defensive line on 3rd and inches. Bennett, 244 pounds. A flag goes down as Bennett pounded his way to the 10-yard line.
Marino thinks it's on Dallas.
Well, 244 pounds came to a screeching halt in a hurry. Dallas defensive line really stopped him that time.
Looks like it's against the Dolphins.
And it is.
That's interesting. That I assume they made it. If they didn't make it, I'd be tempted to declaim.
6 men on the line of scrimmage.
Oh, again, players out of position. What does that reflect, Roger?
Well, it's Miami's a well-coached, well-disciplined team. It reflects at least maybe a lack of concentration on the behalf of the players, which is inexcusable, or they've just not focused on in practice making sure you're not penalized in your formation situation.
If you need to light a match right now, you could use Don Shula's forehead. 3rd and 6. Dallas comes on the blitz. Marino with time, but badly thrown. Duper covered by Francis. Duper went inside. Marino threw outside. And the Dallas defense makes a stand. Duper just back. He's playing with torn rib cartilage, a very painful injury. Hurts every time you breathe.
Well, there's a communication breakdown there. Marino was talking to Duper, and obviously that was an excellent opportunity because Miami really blocked well. It was a blitz, and it was man-to-man out there. Francis did a good job on Duper, but Marino expected a different route, obviously.
Reveiz will try from 23. He's hit from 26, missed from 48. Excuse me, from the 23-yard line, so it's a 33-yard field goal attempt. A line drive, but he got it through. And the Dolphins extend their lead to 6 at 13-7. We have 7:52 to go, 3rd quarter. That's the view from the Goodyear Blimp America out of Houston, Texas. The Captain Larry Chambers from Spring, Texas. And the 62nd consecutive year that the Goodyear Blimp has appeared at the nation's top sporting events. Glad to have him with us tonight. Reveiz to kick off. Darryl Clack at the goal line. And Jensen was down there to get the first piece of Darryl Clack, who dove out past the 20-yard line. That last field goal, very, very close by Reveiz. Take a look.
Almost hits the upright. Look at this.
Hooking, hooking, hook.
Wow.
Well, with that angle, it looked like he was pretty good inside of it until it got by it. Scoring drive, 48 yards, 33-yard field goal by Reveiz, his second of the ball game. And it's spotted at the 24 for Dallas. Steve Pelluer at the controls. He has completed 2 passes so far tonight. Make it 3. And he's back to throw on first down. All the time in the world. Dumps it off. Newsome. Newsome dives out to the 30. Covered by Jackie Shipp.
Walker's really a fierce competitor. He does not fumble very often. He fumbled in that last drive. I wouldn't be surprised if you're not going to see Herschel run a long one before this thing's all over. I know inside that he feels he caused that last 3 points, and he's thinking about that on the sidelines. He's back in the game, and Miami ought to watch old Herschel.
Pelluer only 4 out of 9, 25 yards. He has rushed for 78 yards. Here's Walker picking his way along the line, and the Dolphins gang tackle him at the 32. It's what you better do with Herschel Walker.
A factor we should consider is Herschel Walker wearing the defenses down. I mean, just so many carries as a punishing runner. It seems to do it late in the game, and he's more effective late in the game than he is earlier in the game.
That's right, and he's the kind of guy that can get stopped 15, 18 carries in a row, then he breaks a big one. That defense of Miami is doing a heck of a job tonight. They're aware of that. They just can't get complacent because he can break one real quick, and tonight he's been pretty consistent. He's getting the good yardage, but that fumble really hurt him after a long run.
They were burned by Dickerson a week ago against the Colts, 154 yards. And now Pelluer has to use one of his timeouts with 6:22 to go in the third quarter. He wants to talk it over with Tom Landry on the sideline. Timeout on the
Cowboys call a timeout on a 3rd and 1 with 6:22 left in the third quarter. Not a real great timeout to call.
Well, there was some confusion between the sidelines and the huddle, having the right people in there. In a close game, you sure don't want to give up a timeout in the third quarter. But again, on 3rd and 1, they didn't want to take a chance on having to punt, so it was just inopportune and poor communications.
Herschel Walker, 81 yards rushing. I'm going to bet he'll get the ball on 3rd and 1. First down. Back to the 39-yard line. Ball came loose. Referee did not give any indication. First, he reached down like he was going to pick up the football, then let it go because I don't think he heard a whistle.
There's a penalty also back there.
Blackwood says it's against the Cowboys.
And the officials have not indicated yet who has possession. The penalty will be against Dallas.
Number 68, offense, third down.
Crawford Kerr, the right guard, so they spread around the holding calls.
Now let's take a look at the fumble here, or was it a fumble? I believe he was down.
Yeah, he had it.
Down. You know, on a short yardage play, a quick hitting play like that to get holding is it's almost inexcusable to have a need to hold when you're looking for about a yard.
Yep.
So now, instead of 3rd and 1, or instead of a first down, it's 3rd and 11 for Steve Pelluer. Goes to the shotgun. Throws back over the middle of Walker. Trying to get to the first down, and he got it. Herschel Walker to the 37-yard line, and he got it all by himself.
You see a lot of gifts here. Catching the football, power, speed, all on one play.
Good job by Steve Pelluer that time also. He started to run and then threw the ball on the run. At that point, Walker probably didn't have the first down. That extra effort got the first down. But also Pelluer got outside instead of running, and he probably would have got 8 or 9 yards. He threw it back to Walker, and he made a good decision.
Don Shula not happy with the way the defense let Walker get away and get the first down. Pelluer with a lot of time, dumps it off to Walker again. Another first down out to the 48-yard line. And Pelluer really showing some control right now.
Yeah, Pelluer is settled down. He's taken that secondary receiver. That time, that looked like Renfro was the receiver, but he realized that Renfro was covered, and he went to Walker as his outlet, and he's definitely settled down.
Here's the difference so far. Second half, 4 out of 4, 42 yards. First half, 2 for 7 and 8 yards. Newsome across the 50 to the Miami 48-yard line, dragged down by Bud Brown.
You get a few completions under your belt, and it really helps mentally.
Pelluer, of course, a 5th-round pick. Cowboys had a shot at Montana. Of course, they had Roger and Danny White back then. They had a shot at Marino. They went with Hogaboom. Maybe this is the guy for the future.
There's a few other people who had a shot at Marino.
That's right.
That's true. Very true.
Made a mistake there.
Had a poor senior season at Pitt. Fooled a lot of people. On the play and roll. Brown is after him. He throws it back.
That could be a fumble.
They were still after it, trying to make sure. It looked like it went forward, so it'll be an incomplete pass. They rolled to the right, had Newsome back on the left, trying to set up a screen.
I didn't mean a fumble. It looked like a lateral. Almost. It was close. In fact, I think it was a lateral.
Trying to set up a play, perhaps, or was it just a desperation?
Oh, no, that was set up all the way. He was rolling right, and watch the fullback this time, Newsome. He just fakes, hits the ground, and then he pops back up. This is a called play. But number 51 that time, Brown, Mark Brown, but it was a lateral. And,
yes, it was.
Yeah, Newsome was smart. He recognized it. And also number 50 for the Dolphins,
Jackie
Shipp was there also, and he had to push Newsome out of the way, or he might have got that that lateral.
Very smart play by Shipp.
That was a forced play, too. Maybe he should have taken the loss than risk a play like that.
Well, that's one of those. It's really kind of a gadget play. It's a rollout, and his only job is to turn back around and believe that fullback's there. And, of course, with Brown down his neck, he threw it, and Ship did a good job staying home, though, and watching Newsome.
You were always known, had a reputation throughout the league as one of the best actors on screen passes to make it look like you were being chased. Dallas always ran the screen very well.
We did a good job in the screen. We worked on it a lot. Of course, we had... the type of backs that could really make things happen if you got the screen out to them also.
So the ball is marked at the 38-yard line. It will be 3rd and 20.
What do you call on a 3rd and 20 here, Roger?
Well, you got to, at this stage, you have to get it all. So if you really have to get into that intermediate, that deep in route, about 20 yards is a good play in this situation.
Dolphins come with 4. Pelluer flushed out again. And he won't get the first down this time. Driven out of bounds at the 44 to bring up a punting situation for the Cowboys.
Renfro was a little frustrated downfield. He was on a deep type of in route, and you might have to take a little chance. He's thrown 2 interceptions. One was not really a meaningful interception, didn't hurt anything. The other one was costly, and he's thinking, a young quarterback, mentally, the game is so mental. He's thinking about not making a mistake again. But you have to take a chance maybe on 3rd and 20. He didn't elect to do it, and of course they're punting now.
This is Scott Schwade's number 2 in the AFC in punt returns, averaging more than 14 yards a kick. And Saxon is back. Beautiful punt that time by Saxon. Really hung it up. Schwade's let it go, and it will bounce into the end zone. A touchback. So Miami will take over at the 20-yard line. A 56-yard kick by Mike Saxon. 13-7. They have the ball back at their own 20. 3:17 to go, 3rd period. Marino, pressure from Jones, threw incomplete, trying for Hampton, and the official could have reached out and got it.
We were talking before about the future for the Dallas Cowboys being Steve Pelluer. Talked to Gil Brandt, the player personnel director for the Cowboys. I said, who is the #1 prospect in college football this year? He said it's not Tim Brown. For his money, it's Troy Aikman, UCLA, the quarterback, who will be a senior next year. But he said that right now, it is Troy Aikman. He's got Elway-like tools. Watch for that name, Aikman. Putting some pressure on Mr. Aikman, it looks like.
2nd and 10 from the 20. Davenport on underneath coverage gets it to the 29-yard line. Bill Bates brought him down along with Steve Diassi, number 55.
Billy Bates, interesting story. He's a sleepwalker who wrecks his room in his deep sleep, or did one time. One year he roomed with a guy named John Warren, who was a sleep talker. So picture this. There were nights when Warren would stand by the window screaming about goal line stands while Billy Bates trashed the furniture. Now, that is an odd couple, Roger.
Yeah. How his wife feels about that.
Scare you when you wake up in the morning and the room's destroyed, wouldn't it?
What a strange tandem that must have been.
3rd and inches. Bennett and Hampton, the running backs. And Marino stumbled coming out of the pocket, wanted to throw, and they sacked it. Jeff Rohrer came from the outside, and it was not so much a matter of a Dallas pass rush. Marino couldn't keep his balance coming out from under center.
Usually someone steps on a quarterback's foot like that. It's be interesting to see what happened, whether he stumbled or the center stepped on his foot. It's the right guard steps on his foot. Yeah, there's no question that it looks like Toad, number 76, stepped on him.
Yep.
Miami will have to punt it away with Roby, and Martin waits at his own 30.
Punt.
Roby almost put it up to the 3rd deck. Martin at the 29. Got a block. And got it back to the 39-yard line. A 10-yard return after a booming 49-yard punt from Reggie Roby.
On their quarterbacks in the last 15 games than Dan Marino has been sacked in his entire career. Can you believe that?
And it took one of his own men stepping on him to get that one. Pelluer got a lot of time. Throw it off his back foot, complete to Newsome. Newsome got about 7 yards. Blackwood dragged him down at the 47-yard line. And Pelluer starting to look just a little bit more comfortable with what he's doing back there.
And Pelluer made a nice throw, and Newsome, of course, made a good catch on that play. You know, one thing about Marino is not getting the sacks tonight, but obviously he's getting the hurries, and Dallas has put pressure. He's thrown off, but he's not getting enough time to really find that ideal receiver. He's having to throw the ball almost away at times or going to that short receiver.
1:15 to go, third quarter, 2nd and 2, Dallas. Walker. Not this time. Herschel stacked up as he got to the line of scrimmage. T.J. Turner and John Offerdahl brought him down.
One item I want to mention about the Herschel Walker, Tony Dorsett controversy. Both guys obviously want a lot of playing time. You would think that they'd be at each other's throat over playing time. Fact is, Walker and Dorsett may be the two closest friends on the team. That's not just window dressing, it's true. They go to movies a lot, they go to theater, they double date a lot. So there's not any animosity between Dorsett and Walker. It's just, we want to play, give me the football. Important to note that.
3rd down, 2 yards to go. Walker now with 81 carries, or 81 yards on 17 carries.
Well, Cindy is Herschel's wife, so that's
right. Yeah. Well, that
Tony does date. When they go out together as couples.
Right, the foursomes, yeah.
And Tom Landry none too happy as Dallas uses another timeout. That's 2 of their 3 here in the second half.
And a close game, boy. That's just that comes back to haunt you.
That's a rookie mistake.
Well, it's either a mistake, probably a question on 3rd and 2. Are we going to run it or are we going to throw it? On 3rd and 1, obviously it's a run, and they probably didn't have the right people in there. And again, in this case, they just didn't have the right people in there, and Pelluer didn't want to take a chance on missing the 1st down.
Save your Thanksgiving dessert, because we've got a Thursday night game for you. Texas A&M live, 8 o'clock Eastern. The Southwest Conference Championship is on the line, and the winner will meet Notre Dame in the Cotton Bowl. Jim Kelly and Kevin Kiley pass up turkey dinner at home, and they'll bring you the game on Thursday night. Hope you join them. It should be a good one. Always a war. Doomsday will rise again. Well, there's a lot of talk down here in Dallas that the Cowboys are inches away from being a dominant defensive football team again. The stats would certainly reflect it, and they've done a good job tonight.
Well, there's been improvement. There's no question about the addition of Francis and Noonan and the play of Lockhart and Walls and Downs. So they've got some good ingredients on defense.
3rd and 2, Pelluer in the shotgun. And Pelluer, quarterback draw. Forget it.
That's kind of ironic, isn't it? The time they set up a play for him, he loses 2 yards.
David Fry, the first man to him. Looked like he took off in a hurry, Roger.
Yeah, I think, Mike, that was set up. It looked almost like a quarterback draw. I think that happened real fast.
All right, what's the report card on Pelluer so far in this football game, Roger?
That was a draw the way he came back. The same as before. He is a fine athlete, a lot of great movement, little experience. As long as he keeps mentally confident, he does have the physical ability to be a productive quarterback.
Saxon, a short punt, and the Dolphins fair catch it at the 21-yard line. 37-yard kick and no return. Being joined tonight on our ESPN telecast by the Goodyear Blimp America out of Houston, Texas, taking a look through the hole in the roof at Texas Stadium, and I always wondered why they didn't go ahead. They're so close to having a totally domed stadium. Why didn't they do it?
Well, I guess the air conditioning and bills would have been too expensive. They wanted to have an outdoor appearance with an indoor look, so whatever the reasons, they didn't do it.
Isn't the real reason that Murchison, the former owner, said that you have to have the natural conditions on the playing field for those football players, rain, snow, etc.? I think he said that once. Yeah.
Well, Don Meredith said it was so God could watch his favorite team play.
Hampton on the carry, gets up to about the 23. Bates in on the stop along with Steve DiAsi. And that is the end of the 3rd period of play here in Big D. It's the Dolphins 13, the Cowboys.
Don Shula with the Miami Dolphins leading 13-7. This may be Shula's toughest year, but you have to admire this man. Don's wife, Dorothy, has been battling cancer for the last 2.5 years. It's in remission, but David Shula was quoted as saying, "I don't think I could ever match the battle my mother has been through." Dorothy said, there's no sense sitting around. You got to face it. I'm a fighter. I am not about to quit. This is a very courageous family.
And we wish her the best. Marino on 2nd and 7. Floats one sideline, and Duper couldn't find it.
You know, Francis fell down also. That Marino
never saw it, I don't think, Roger.
He didn't see it, and Francis fell down. The ball was probably overthrown, but again, the reason it was overthrown, Marino is a little bit off of his plan tonight. He's getting rid of that ball, knowing that he's getting pressure on him. He's not taking that extra split second. He got rid of that ball very quickly, and it's been the fact that he's been pretty hassled all night.
Interesting thing to remember that he's got a streak going now for touchdown passes, and it's in jeopardy right now.
Thrown a touchdown in 29 games in a row. Only Johnny Unitas ever did more than that. He threw for 47 straight. Marino, plenty of time, and that one hit Stradford right in the helmet. Robert Williams on the coverage, but that baby bounced right off of the Dolphins insignia on the front of the helmet.
I want to get back to the Don Shula story. The behind-the-scenes story, and I've known Don since I'm 15 years old. Literally, I was a ball boy at the Dolphins camp, is the strength of the Shula family. His 5 children, Dorothy Shula, just an absolute terrific person and a real big support behind Don Shula. It's the woman behind the man.
Roby airs another one out. Martin, 26. Takes it back to the 32-yard line. 7-yard return after a 50-yard booming punt by Reggie Roby.
Last week in Broward County, they had a testimonial dinner for Dorothy Shula. And I'll tell you, there wasn't a dry eye in the house. A very, very emotional moment. And Don, not one to show his feelings emotionally, overtly, in terms of matters of the heart. But he was broken up over it, obviously. So was David Shula.
You don't stay in this game as a head coach for as long as Shula without a good perspective on life as well. He's got a tremendous faith and a permanence to his life as well as the temporal life. So his perspective is solid. He's a fierce competitor, and he's been a great family man.
Dallas down by 6. Herschel Walker, and caught in the backfield and dropped by John Bosa, the rookie out of Boston College.
I think the Killer Bees are back. These guys are playing. I'd like to have been in some of those meetings this week. After what Dickerson did last week in Indianapolis, the Dolphins are really moving on defense and doing a great job. After the first few minutes of this game, we thought we had a high-scoring affair.
Yeah.
It's fourth quarter, 14 minutes to go, and 13-7 Dolphins.
Walker lost 2, so he has 79 yards net rushing. Pelluer play fake. Good ball handler. Gets it out to Walker. Juggled it, got it back, took it out of bounds at the 35-yard line. One thing people forget is that Herschel Walker was a 5th-round draft choice of the Miami Dolphins, or the Dallas Cowboys. They took a gamble that the USFL would fail, and I often wondered why somebody didn't take a chance at drafting him higher.
Talk about conditioning for this guy. He's never lifted a weight in his life. And, Roger, if you've ever seen his body, you know that's unbelievable. But he does do 2,000 sit-ups every night.
And push-ups.
And push-ups. What a man. Unbelievable.
3rd and 7. Pelluer with Walker, couldn't hold it. May have been tipped by Don McNeil, the 7-year veteran out of Alabama.
This has not been a great night for Herschel in terms of holding on to the football.
Well, Don McNeil did a great job here. I think number 28 knocked the ball. Watch 28, Don McNeil, who comes in these passing situations. Right here, he at least got he might not have tipped the ball, but he got his hand in the way, and he did tip the ball just barely. And of course, Walker's a good receiver, and that tip knocked the ball away.
It's the first incompletion of the second half, and Saxon really creamed this one. Schwade's trying to get something out of the return, only gets it back to the 17-yard line. 51-yard kick from Mike Saxon. And that's inside the Goodyear blimp. We have 13:37 to go in the... ESPN's presentation of the National Football League is brought to you by Metropolitan Life and affiliated companies. Get met. It pays. By Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? And by Bud Light. Everything else is just a light. Crowd crowd is starting to chant for the Dolphin defense as Miami starts at its own 17. 13:37 to go. The Dallas defense has done a fine job. They haven't gotten much help from their offense tonight. Marino rifles one to Tony Nathan, who makes the grab and goes up over the 31-yard line. Steve Diassi on the stop.
That's just not another play either. The crowd was getting into it. Diassi's in there for Lockhart. He kind of had the defense revved up, and Marino comes right out and quiets things down a little bit, gets him out of some difficult field position with a quick hitter there.
Lockhart had a bad thigh during the week. Kevin Brooks is back in there. Brooks has a hip pointer. Marino dumps it off to Davenport, and Davenport cut down as he reached the 44-yard line. Diassi back there along with Michael Downs.
The strategy for Marino clearly now throwing underneath to beat the coverage. Throw to your backs. Be patient if you have to.
Dallas is keeping that run defense in there on first down. Marino's taking advantage of the linebackers, really throwing off the linebackers, getting them isolated and hitting the backs out of the backfield.
It's another first down, Dolphins. Delay to Stradford, who's already over 100 yards and dragging tacklers with him to the 49-yard line. Now, who would have thought? We come into a game with Troy Stradford and Herschel Walker, and Stradford is up around 110 yards and Herschel Walker shy of 80.
Well, Stradford has got that quickness, though. He's really getting into the hole very, very fast. Dallas is doing a good job at the line of scrimmage, but that quickness is getting him slithering through there, and he's doing a good job getting that extra yard.
Spotted just shy of midfield, 2nd and 5. Davenport. Bill Bates came up hard from his safety spot and got in on the stop along with Kevin Brooks. Landry really likes Bates. He says he's the kind of guy you need on the field, and he will get better every year. One thing they did to improve Bates' coverage on pass coverage was to let him work against wide receivers in practice. He found the tight ends were a little easier after that.
He is all heart, Billy Bates is. That's John Madden's favorite player, by the way.
Bates gives you 120%, and you're right, Mike. He's really worked on his pass coverage this year, and he's done a good job in those tight ends.
Ball in Miami territory, 3rd and 2. Stradford. And Bill Bates hit him, but Stradford dove forward and got the first down. 5'9" and tough.
Think about this. Here's the same guy who can change directions on a dime and has the same kind of talent to power his way ahead. Look at this hit he takes here.
Good hit by Bates.
And he's still going forward, too. Look at that.
And that extra effort.
Great versatility.
Got him the first down at the Dallas 45. 10 minutes, 33 seconds and counting in this game. Dolphins up by 6. Too tall, almost got there. Marino for Clayton. And it's Clayton took it away from Francis. Holy cow.
Unbelievable. I thought, of course, everybody thought, Francis had the ball. It's a great interception.
Francis in perfect position, and Clayton took it away.
This is a situation where Clayton shows that leaping ability. He said it before, a 36-inch vertical leap. He stays right there with it and just takes the ball away.
Well,
he did it on the ground.
He took it away on the ground.
But it looked like Francis was bobbling the ball on the ground. He really didn't have possession, and it kind of bobbled back up into his hands right there. See that bobble right up there?
Yep. Maybe it was a fumble, really. It might have really been a fumble.
It never hit the ground, so whoever ends up with it is possession.
If I was watching the replay and making a judgment here, I'd say that Clayton has possession right here. See, it kind of kicked back up in his hands right there, and they got the ball.
Oh, now that is a tough call to make. It is up in the replay booth with Norm Schachter.
Of course, I've only played for Dallas for 11 years, and I'm a Cowboy fan, but watching this replay, it's just an unfortunate kickback right into Clayton. I don't think Francis had possession of the ball, so you can't give the ball to Francis.
Now, the booing is because the crowd is seeing these replays, too.
Yeah, but see, right here, watch it bounce off his thigh. Yeah. Right there is where he got the ball. And
that's Clayton's football, don't you think?
He didn't wrest it away. He did not take the ball away. It deflected into his arm.
Right. It hit off that thigh and bounced, and
the ball's not dead because it never hit the ground.
I mean, these guys are watching the replay here, and based on what is being seen, that looks like...
that's Clayton's football.
Clayton's football.
An extremely important play in this football.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
they get a first down here. They get a first down here.
I'd say
that's it. Maybe.
It is a real...
One of these guys is going to be very happy. The other one is going to be very upset.
Well, the Cowboys are pointing the other way, but they don't have a monitor on the field. And
you know, there has been some criticism of the replay officials for taking such a long time.
Right.
My thought is, if you're going to call it and use the replay technology, take as much time as you need. Miami football. Well, you knew the crowd would be hot. Well, Ron Francis is going to see that in his mind about 100 times. First and goal. Got to the 2. Downs and Ron Burton, free agent out of North Carolina, made the tackle. Davenport, another one of those big backs. He's at 230. Not as good a blocker as Woody Bennett, but a better runner. Although this year he's only carried it 8 times all season.
Stay on the ground all the way here, Roger.
I'd throw the ball right here. Dallas is tough in that goal line defense on the 2-yard line. I'd go for it. I'd throw the ball.
Stradford in motion. Marino throws incomplete, knocked away at the goal line, intended for Hardy, and right there with him, Bill Bates, and it also looked like Ron Burton.
Well, Marino saw the little gap that was open there, and Hardy should have caught this ball. It drilled him right in the chest.
Boy, is he having a tough time tonight.
Boom.
This is about his second, or no, it's about his 3rd or 4th drop tonight.
Yeah, it's...
Here's the reaction from the coach.
I don't think Walls really hit him very hard from the back. He just dropped that football.
Surprised it didn't stick to him. Marino, touchdown Pruitt.
And there's a guy that's dropped a few footballs last week, and he's made up for it. They love his athletic ability.
Caught a bullet this time.
Yeah, he showed it right there. Marino just spun. He was going to get hammered, and nothing bothers Marino back there. He's a you know, of course, he's a tremendous quarterback. Nothing bothers him. He drilled that ball, but it was a hard thrown pass right here. And Pruitt, who's taken his lumps last week, even though they love his athletic ability, made a nice catch right there.
He dropped a 50-yard wide open flea flicker a week ago. He dropped one the week before that. In fact, he dropped 3 in all, but he didn't drop it that time.
Reveiz on for the point after. He's true, and the Dolphins in unfriendly territory have taken a 20-7 lead over the Dallas Cowboys. Back in a moment. Dan Marino has now thrown a touchdown pass in 30 straight games. Only Johnny Unitas ever did more than that. Unitas had an incredible streak of 47 games in a row. The question at quarterback for Dallas is, what do you do with the quarterback situation, Roger? You need 2 touchdowns, and Pelluer does not look like the guy who's going to bring you back with 2 scores.
Well, that is a tough decision. You're playing with a guy that you think is your future also, and his confidence level, and to keep him into a tight situation. White has been hurt. They want to rest him. They possibly want him to play on Thanksgiving Day, so it's a 2-game program right now with the future of a... In the second half, Steve has played. He's played good football.
Yes,
he's throwing. But again, there's only 7 points on the board, and you judge, you know, an offense by the number of points and not how you look.
Danny White has been a very courageous quarterback here in Dallas. He has a severe wrist injury, broke it a year ago. And it's Darryl Clack for the Cowboys. They need a big return. And they're not going to get it. Clack out to the 24-yard line. During the commercial, we caught Ernie Stotner, the Cowboys veteran defensive coach, just going crazy on the sideline.
It had to do with the call, no doubt. The referee's decision on the Clayton play.
It could, yes, and he is talking to the someone up in the upstairs up there, either Dick Nolan or someone else. So he could have been upset with the coverage on that last pass, but it seems like they're still upset with the call on the sideline.
Cowboys need 2 touchdowns, and they only have 8.5 minutes to get it. Pelluer remains in at quarterback. They go with this quick screen out to Walker. Blocker in front of him. Walker still on his feet. What a move. Got away from Brown. 35-yard line. Well, there's the answer. You get it to Herschel Walker. You forget everything else. 45-yard gain.
Get a chance to see some of this Olympic speed. Next to Bo Jackson, this is perhaps the second fastest guy in the NFL. He's beaten Carl Lewis before in sprint races. Look at the speed right here.
Now Walker can obviously run once he catches the ball. He is an excellent receiver. You just need to get him some open air. Tonight they've bottled him up in the middle running the football, but if he gets outside or catches a pass with some daylight, he can really move that football.
Excellent block from Mark Tuanay on that screen. Newsome, not this time. Brian Sauché, the nose tackle, and John Boza, the right defensive end, combined to bring him down.
It's a real, obviously, it's an important drive for Dallas, but they really need a touchdown. You know, a field goal would take a little of the wind out of the sails after a big run like Walker, and that would still put them, you know, a long ways away from the 20 points. So a touchdown here, and then you're picturing another touchdown in the 21-20 game. So they need to score, and they need to get in the end zone and not kick a field goal in this drive.
2nd and 9. They gave Newsome a gain of 1 on the last play. Pelluer to Newsome. Took a shot from Mark Brown, the 5-year linebacker out of Purdue, is having such a great year. The number 2 tackler on this club.
There are a lot of people who believe that Mark Brown, even though he's playing on a pretty bad defensive unit, deserves to be all-pro. See a play, he was right here on Newsome. Big hit there for Brown.
Newsome would vote for him. 3rd and 7. With 7 minutes and 9 seconds to go, the Cowboys need this one badly.
What do you call here, Rod?
Half, 8 out of 9.
You got to throw the ball, and Cosby or over the middle or somewhere hiding in that zone.
Pelluer looks near side, throws to Cosby, dives near the 20-yard line. Depending on the mark, it's with inches of a first down one way or another, and Graff and Cosby into it a little bit.
Let's see where they spot it.
And they say first down. No measurement, nothing.
Doug Cosby had trouble getting the ball last year. He's getting it a lot more this year, particularly clutch receptions.
Watch Walker clear to the corner there, and he had nobody to the inside. He made this turn to the inside, and Pelluer drilled him.
Mike Smith made the stop, but not before they got the first down. Walker. And gang tackled once again by the Dolphins, picked up maybe a yard. The Cowboys have to keep an eye on the clock. It's down to 5:54, and remember, they used 2 timeouts already on 3rd and short situations when Pelluer couldn't figure out what was going on, or the players didn't get in time. We're not sure which, but they've only got 1 timeout left, and they need 2 touchdowns.
And they're going to go to Walker this time.
You were right about Cosby, Rod. See if you're right again. Fake.
Pelluer floats it for the end zone. Newsome, touchdown! Timmy Newsome beat Bob Brzezinski, and Pelluer laid it on the money.
Yeah, it looks like Brzezinski just didn't see the ball. He kind of just turned a little bit late, but a perfect throw. It looked like even at the end he wasn't sure the ball was thrown out there. But there was a play action to Walker and a good throw by Pelluer.
Roger Ruzek on for the point after. He's got it, and it's 20-14. Newsome, the leading receiver a week ago, is at it again. 7 catches, 2 of them for touchdown.
Before tonight, Steve Pelluer had only been in 1 play the entire NFL season. He was knocked out on that play against the Philadelphia Eagles. But so far, late in the game, he's been a knockout. It's 20-14. He's brought the Cowboys back, and now it's Marino's turn.
That was a big drive for Steve Pelluer. He showed a lot of ability last season when he played, and he had some difficulty at the end of the year, but he came through in that drive.
The Cowboys were lined up in an onside kick formation. Now they'll kick it away. And it's Scott Schwade's a yard deep in the end zone. Taken down at the 13-yard line. Downs and Clack were the guys that got him. And now the pressure shifts to Miami with 5:09 to go in the game. They need to work on the clock.
This is obviously the crucial series. The Dolphins want to keep the ball, hold on to it, get a couple of first downs. I imagine, Roger, high percentage passes, nothing deep downfield. Keep the ball, eat it up.
I'd be real surprised if he ran the ball here. Dallas's defense is really fired up. You quiet him down by hitting a pass.
With the game on the line, Stradford and Davenport in the backfield. Stradford. Oh, he got a couple of great blocks and a tremendous move outside to the 20-yard line.
That's what I said. They ought to run the ball on first down down here.
He does a lot of this himself. He got a pretty good block from the tackle outside. But look at the juking, look at the moves. Troy Stradford. Got to be very impressed with this young man. Reminds me of Merck here. Look at this.
Yeah, he's had a fine night. He's just got that quickness and that ability to make the move at the right time. He's been doing it all night, whether catching the football or running out of the backfield.
13 carries, 118 yards. Now it's 2nd and 1. Stradford goes for the first down. And it looks like he has it out at the 24.
And the clock rolling.
Remember, Dallas only has 1 timeout. They used the other 2 on 3rd and short situations earlier in the ball game, and that could be a big factor.
That's coming. That may come back to kill him.
But the timeouts won't matter unless they can stop Miami. 4.5 minutes left. Dolphins up by 6.
Be lucky to get this baby off.
Got to call timeout.
And Marino has to use one.
Last week, the Dolphins had 2 delay of game penalties because they couldn't get the signals from the press box down to the field. Well, it got down to 2 seconds before Marino had to call timeout. Obviously, there was some kind of confusion.
If Miami can run 4 plays and get a first down, they would take us down to about the 2-minute warning.
Talk about relationships there. There's Don Strock over there. He's been a real mentor for Marino. Strock has played very well when he's had to play, but he's been pretty much of a consummate backup guy, a team guy, and almost like a player coach right now. Marino respects him a great deal.
Marino calls him his guru, his quarterback guru.
He's a cool customer, though. Normally in this type of situation with the fans and the hoopla, you start worrying too much about protecting the lead, but Marino's an aggressive quarterback. He's going to go after him, and that's the way he plays the game, and he just doesn't seem to worry about any particular situation. He plays the same all the time, and that's pretty aggressive throw on first down or mix it up when he has to.
1st and 10. Sports Center follows this ball game. Dale Gardner and John Saunders, everything in the day in sports. Stradford. Cowboys playing run still. Can't stop him at the line of scrimmage. Loose ball. And one official pointing at the ground saying it was down, and it is.
Mr. Shula's heart skipped a beat there.
What do you think Stradford's did?
Let's see.
Again, he gets that little crease, puts his head down. He's got both hands on the ball right about here.
I don't know.
Oh, that's loose.
Right,
that ball is loose.
That was a fumble.
That ball was swatted out of his hands.
That other angle, that right knee.
And they're not stopping it for the instant replay. Yes, they are. Miami came up to the line of scrimmage, and they will review it upstairs.
Of course, we didn't see who fell on the ball either.
Yeah, watch that right knee, though. Left knee. See that left knee right there?
Yeah, maybe you're right.
It's close.
Oh, that was a really close play.
Well, I think I stand corrected again. That's the value of that replay and the different angles, and the officials have to call it as it goes.
They're saying down on contact.
That is a new rule this week. If the whistle blows, that kills the play, and the player is ruled down on contact, and that's it.
Marino keeps pointing to the scoreboard. I guess he's telling him to start the clock.
And
That's
the clock should start again.
Yeah. That's what he's doing. He's telling him, hey, start the clock.
And Jerry Mark Wright is saying, look, I'll handle this. You go call the play. I'll start the clock.
He gets a fresh 25.
30.
30, I mean. Thinking basketball. 24 second, right?
And Marino will use every one of those seconds on that clock. 2nd and 3. Hampton. Whoa. Brooks in a hurry.
Look at the line play right here. Kevin Brooks.
Brooks is really not touched. Well, the running Davenport supposed to cut him, missed him totally.
This will make it 3rd and 3, but the clock continues to run. It's down to 2:53.
I'd say this is a significant play right here.
Biggest one we've had yet.
This is it.
Go for that short one. Little pop right there.
Marino to Stradford, first down at the 36-yard line.
Didn't look like much, but boy, he's a master. Just coolly throw it right in there. Thread it inside, get the first down, keep that clock rolling. 2:27.
When you're a receiver and you know you've got a Marino throwing you the ball, as soon as you turn, you really have to be ready for the ball. Stradford knew what he had to do to get the first down. He only needed 4 yards, and as soon as he spun around, that ball was right there.
And the Cowboys have spent their last timeout. Otherwise, Miami would have been able to take it down all the way to the 2-minute warning. But Dallas is now out of timeouts, and the Dolphins can wrap it up with one more first down.
Just shows you the value of those timeouts that Pelluer called. Now, we don't know that it was necessarily Pelluer's call to call the timeout, but it sure appeared that way. Tex Schramm in the booth. He can't be very, very happy with the way things have gone. Been criticized by a number of people for alienated his players. Players threatened with the withholding of the annuities for honoring the strike. The alienation of teammates. Danny White versus Everson Walls, Jeff Rohr, Doug Cosby. And the Cowboy players saying, hey, they don't respect us around the league anymore because we all went back in to break the picket lines. Everson Walls, representing that, said, hey, they once hated us out of respect. Now the players around the league hate us out of disrespect. Tex Schramm, of course, the architect of the replacement games. A lot of people find hypocrisy in Tex Schramm, saying that, well, he belittled the USFL, calling it inferior football. What do you call the replacement games?
Yeah, but that's still the job of a player. When they get on that field, their job is to win and to play football and to forget about the excuses. And you got to put the team ahead of your own personal feelings or your own personal problems.
1st and 10 Miami. Stradford. He's been a terrific runner tonight, and Bates brings him down at the 37-yard line. This will take it down to 2 minutes. Remember, the Cowboys have no timeouts left. And Miami will be in no hurry. 2 minutes to go from Dallas, Texas. The Dolphins 20. The Goodyear Blimp America over Dallas, Texas. And Texas Stadium. And we have 2 minutes left in this ball game. Dolphins by 6.
There's Texas A. Schramm. I tell you something, this is a powerful man, maybe the most powerful man next to Rozelle in all of pro football. How tough is he? True story. Once he went on a swimming trip, I guess, with Pete Rozelle, a close friend of his. There was a shark in shallow water. Rozelle said, "Look out, there's a shark." He took a piece of wood and knocked the shark out with that piece of wood. This is a tough man. He was tough on the players, too.
Hey, after agents, how tough can sharks be?
Right. Some say agents are sharks.
Marino, a little trouble on the handoff, and they'll get it up to about the 41-yard line. The tackle made by Gene Lockhart. As Tony Nathan came in. Ball's at the 42. It is 3rd and 4. And if Miami gets the first down, you can back up the bus because it's over. Dallas with no timeouts. Pelluer on the phone to the coaches upstairs, hoping to get a chance to get the ball back.
Well, Dallas has their passing defense, and they brought in a lot of extra backs. You might see a run, a sweep this time.
Stradford, he needs 4, and he's got it. Stradford staying in bounds to the 40, 35, 30.
Look at him go! What an effort!
Troy Stradford all the way to the 20-yard line, carrying Ron Francis and other tacklers with him. A 41-yard gain for Troy Stradford, who has 173 on the night.
Dallas brought in all those backs, and of course, you know, you get some pretty smart people on the sidelines. It's a guessing game. They decided to run against that, and
carrying 2 guys. Look at this. What an effort. Look at Shula's reaction to this. Come on, Troy, let's go. Go, go, go.
You know, the success of these men, they're coaching against each other too. Shula and Landry, they're going at it.
And now all Marino has to do is kneel down. He was using up as much time as he could, and without a timeout, they don't have to snap the ball again. This telecast was presented by authority of the National Football League and is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of the telecast without express written consent of the National Football League is prohibited. And Don Shula's team goes to 5-5. They are tied for first in the AFC East. And he gets a smile and a handshake from Tom Landry. The Cowboys also fall to 5-5, but they are in a lot of problems with trying to get a wild card berth in the playoffs. They've got a game coming up with Minnesota that's going to be very, very important to them. Our final score, the Miami Dolphins 20, the Dallas Cowboys 14.